Okay, I think that's fine. Fine. So, uh, yes. So altogether there are these three commands, and you can have a fourth command, though it is a try-service command, but you will be always categorizing that command in this particular case. But don't give it a name or the number called 4, right? But always consider it along with this particular uh, armed force, right? That is along with the navy. So I have made a statement here in between that uh, we do have different bases, right, of navy. So I will just write down some of the names. So major bases which are located at, no doubt, first is Visakhapatnam, second is Mumbai, or we can consider Mumbai, Visakhapatnam, right. Apart from these two, where they are, so there is a base on at Goa, right. Then there is a base at Karwar, there is a base at Kochi, there is a base at Chennai, right. There is a base at Kolkata, and as I said, it is at Port Blair. So I have here a question, right? At all, there is no base in the part of Rajasthan, Jammu Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, right, or Arunachal Pradesh. So, are you getting the logic behind it? Right? Probably it is very simple thing. Still, many a times we never think in this way. Right? So all of a sudden, sometimes if the question comes in, we get yes, we get jumble. So answer is coming that there is no sea, right? So only marine borders. Another option is there, right? Or another answer is coming. So that is the reason. Fine. So you cannot have the ships in the desert, right? That may be desert in the part of Rajasthan, right? So it is not possible. Right? Anyway, so this is just to check whether you are Wyckoff or just having something else. Anyway, now let's move towards the another part or the next armed force, right, which we can consider air force, right. So this particular part, so again, as like Indian army is considered, or as we have considered the uh, let's say different commands in Indian army, which are 7, and now in the uh, navy we have considered 3+1. So likewise, there are 7 different commands which are uh, in the air force, right? So 7 different commands in, so total 7 commands as like the number in Indian army. Fine. So if you consider uh, the these commands, then very first command we can have here is as like again the army central air command, central air command. So its headquarters is at Prayag Raj, right? You might be knowing it as by another name called Allahabad, which is in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Fine. So again, each of these commands, right, is commanded by, again I will write it in common, commanded by the air marshal, right? Air marshal. So chief of air staff, right? Or the second last highest post, right? That is air marshal. Fine. So this is the commanding officer of each of these commands in the Air Force, which we can consider. Now, basically, see, this particular command was relocated. It was established in a year and then relocated in another year, right? And it looks for the year, the security of year spaces, right? Or the year bases, which we can consider in different states, right? Or considering the India's complete security, fine. So basically, it was established in Kolkata in year 1962, right? When we have um, it has the consequence, right, of establishment. So we do had the war with China, right? And in that consequence, right, this has been there, right? So it was in Calcutta, right, the then's name. Then relocated in 1966 after 1965's war, right, at Allahabad, right, which is today's Prayagraj. And what does it do? So it operates the year bases. There are year bases in the state of MP and surrounding states, right, and surrounding states, and looking for the security of the airspace, right, which is the prime mission of the Indian Air Force. Right. So, to secure the Indian airspace as well as to conduct the aerial warfare during armed conflict, right? So, this is the task given to this particular command, right? So, we will not be going in detail in these or much more of these particular things, right? Second, we can consider, or altogether, we will be considering it shortly, and depending on your interest or the queries, we can further consider the other things, right? Because as far as your interest is concerned, what kind of aircrafts are there and what are the specialties of that, right? So that will be, we will not club that particular thing in this, right? Obviously we have to go through it, right, which is the essential part, right? And most important thing is it is of your prime interest, right? That may ignite your dream, right? That will never let you sleep more, right? That could be providing you the kind of motivation. So second command which we can consider as, like, again, the army names. So Eastern Air Command. See, at the time of reading it, so this word is there. Most of the things are same, right? So Central Command, that becomes automatically for Army. Eastern Command, it becomes for Army, right? So Central Air Command, now it is not for Army, it is for Air Force. Eastern Air Command, Air Force. So that is the difference, right? Why we are writing here in each of these commands, right? So Eastern Air Command, which is at Shillong, right? So it is in which state? Okay, it is in Meghalaya, right? Again, if you consider, uh, it is nothing but the operational group, right? Basically, or initially, it was based at Calcutta, and then it was upgraded into. Okay, I will show it. And then it was located, or it was upgraded into the command, right? So basically it was only a small group, right, which was at Calcutta. And then later on, it was upgraded into a complete command, right? So it was established in let's say 1958, right? So this is basically a thing which is related to this particular thing, right? So I will consider it was in 1958, right? A operational group, not complete, operational group, right? And okay, at Calcutta, right? And then upgraded to a status of command in 1959. Fine. So that is the case related to this second command. Fine. See, purposefully, I'm not discussing the different kinds of operations which are related to these commands. For example, if I say you the operations fought, so Eastern Air Command had fought a operation or the war which was which was about East Pakistan 1971 war, right? Right. It was basically by this particular Eastern Command, right? So Eastern Command had taken part into that particular operation. Then third we can consider is Eastern, then Western Air Command. So you can you can have a logic where it could be, right? But it is not right exactly at the western side. It is at New Delhi. It is at New Delhi, which was established in 1949. It is the largest among all the commands of Indian Air Force, right? So it is responsible for the aerial defense of complete North India, right? It has 16 different air bases, right? Some of the things which may be coming with this may not be coming with this, right? You should not worry about these things, fine. But these are some of the things. Then again, as I said, it is always headed by the rank called Air Marshal, right? So okay, we write largest contain 16 air bases. Fine. Responsible for North India aerial defense. Right, as like this will be looking for the eastern side of aerial defense, right? That is of Eastern Command. Then fourth command in this row, which we have, is the Southern Air Command, right? Southern Air Command. Now, where this Southern Air Command is, so it must be south side of India, right? So it is at Thiruvananthapuram, which is in Kerala. Fine. So this is the fourth command which we can have. So it was established recently, that is, let's say in 1984. Now, why this is important, right? So what could be the thing which is very important while establishing this particular thing? So it was a strategic move, and therefore strategically it is very important, right? So strategically important. Now, what kind of strategy is that is important, right? So see, what we do have at the south, that is one of our training centers or one of our training commands at Kochi, right? Then we are also having the naval bases at Chennai, at Kochi, at Port Blair, right? And in order to protect the vital shipping routes, right, at the southern side or southern direction of India, and for that purpose, it is strategically important, right? So why? To protect the vital shipping routes, right? So that is the strategy behind establishment of this particular command, right, which was established in 1984, right? The next we can consider in this is the fifth year command, and the name of that fifth year command is South Western Year Command. South Western Year Command. Fine. So that is the fifth command, which is at the defense against Pakistan, and therefore it operates the bases in Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Rajasthan. So these three states, air space security, right, is the responsibility of the Southwestern Air Command. School set up at Ambala. That was long back in 1940, but it was reorganized and come into existence as training command and moved to the Bangalore, right, in 1949, right? So what is the task or what is the responsibility of this command? Again, this command's responsibility is to provide the training, right, to let's say the yeoman, fine, or the whatever maybe the combat equipments we do have. So that particular training is always being carried out in this particular thing, right, which is at Bangalore, known as training command. And the second and the last command is equivalently important, maintenance command. So this is in Maharashtra, having headquarters at Nagpur. Fine. So it was raised, or let's say got the status of command in 1955. Fine. So in this particular case, we can consider the group. Basically, it was it was raised as a maintenance group in 1950, right? But designated as the maintenance command in 1955. And what does it do? It handles what are the tasks of this particular command. So it handles repair and maintenance of all the aircrafts, helicopters, and other equipments basically used in the Air Force, right? So these are the things which are very important as far as this particular command is concerned. Now, if you consider, right, as I said, the altogether 7 different commands forming the Indian Air Force, right? And that what makes us world's 4th largest Air Force we do have, right? Which is fragmented into these 7 different commands, right? So in between, I think there was a query that what is the functioning of the training command, right? Or maybe the meaning of this one, right? Or task of this one. So as I said, it provides the training, right? For or basically this command is, yes, basically this command is responsible for flying and ground training, right? So whatever the ground training is necessary, right? So that training is provided by this particular command. Okay. I think someone had also requested about the screenshot, so you can take. As far as this session is concerned, from my side, that's it. So any queries, if you do have, you can put it down. Vital is important.
हॅलो सर.
Yes.
ह्याच्या अगोदरचं पण पेज दाखवा ना.
Okay, any other queries or the questions? Okay, let's first finish this one. I will go for the next page. Flotilla is a, see, flotillas are, we can consider these small bases, right? So basically, as far as your question is concerned, so flotilla is based at Visakhapatnam as well as at Mumbai, right? Whereas fleet are also based at Visakhapatnam and Mumbai. So fleet is the highest one, right? So you cannot have more than the fleet. But the flotilla is the smaller group of flotilla, or part of fleet is nothing but the flotilla, right? So let's have the screenshot of second one. Someone has asked about this. Okay, any other question? all union territory are protected by all the three forces or not? Not all union territories, right? It was basically about Andaman and Nicobar, right, where we do have a separate unit or the separate command-like status group, right, which is tri-service activity or responsibility. Okay, the question is why that is only, right? So here the question is that if it could be given to, if its responsibility is given to any of the armed forces. So see, it is having land, so it is having air base, rather air space, and it is also having the coast, right, the maritime borders. So how only one armed force will be sufficient for the responsibility of that particular place, and therefore it was given altogether to the three forces. Okay, any other queries? If it's nothing more, then I think I will stop here. Rishikesh sir.
Yes, sir.